we keep moving forward, opening new doors and doing new things, because we're curious, and curiosity keeps leading us down new paths. Just like the little girl that could not sleep, because her thoughts were way too deep. Her mind had gone out for a stroll and fallen down a rabbit hole. Down went Alice after it, never once considering how in the world she was to get out again. Her world was a mess, so she lost herself in a wonderland of madness. Then, she began falling down. Down, 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 down. Alice, Alice, wake up. It's all in your head, Alice. But my darling, this is not Wonderland and you're not Alice. You are a terribly real thing in a terribly false world, and that, I believe, is why you are in so much pain. What if you were unable to awake from your dream? How would you know the difference between the dream world and the real world? The universe is a multi-dimensional matrix projection of your soul, and each person you meet is a different version of you awakening from the illusion of separation. The matrix is everywhere. It is all around us. Even now, in this very room. You can see it when you look out your window, or when you turn on your television. You can feel it when you go to work, when you go to church, when you pay your taxes. It is the world that has been pulled over your eyes to blind you from the truth. You are a slave. Like everyone else, you were born into bondage, born into a prison that you cannot smell, taste or touch. A prison for your mind. The matrix is real. It exists inside the minds of the masses as a form of social, cultural, political and educational indoctrination. A collective psychosis. I imagine that right now, you're feeling a bit like Alice. Imagination should be used not to escape reality, but to create it. People may hate you for being different and not living by society's standards, but deep down they wish they had the courage to do the same. Reality is created by the mind. We can change our reality by changing our mind. The eyes are useless when the mind is blind. One does not have to see to believe. Sometimes one has to believe to see. The eye sees only what the mind is prepared to comprehend. In total surrender of the ego, the transformation of our vibration unfolds by itself, to levels far beyond our imagination. Go deeper past thoughts into silence, past silence into stillness, past stillness into the heart. Let love consume all that is left of you. Good intentions, a loving heart, right diet and mindset, proper breathing and exercises are the primary keys for awakening into your godlike being. Just like a caterpillar transformed into a butterfly, our souls have their own spiritual metamorphosis. If nothing ever changed, there'd be no butterflies. There is nothing in a caterpillar that tells you it's going to be a butterfly, but what a caterpillar calls the end, the rest of the world calls the butterfly. Just when the caterpillar thought the world was over, it became a butterfly. The universe is always speaking to us, sending us little messages, causing coincidences and serendipities, reminding us to stop, to look around, to believe in something else, something more. Every soul is a mirror and a teacher. We are all one. Only egos, beliefs and fears separate us. Your time as a caterpillar has expired, your wings are ready to fly. You are not crazy. You are awake in an insane world. For that exact reason, most people will call you crazy. Free thinkers will always seem crazy to those who don't take the time to research. Never apologize for evolving past people's comfort zone. Blessed are the weird people. Poets, misfits, writers, mystics, painters, troubadours, for they teach us to see the world through different eyes. People who show you new music are important. Music expresses that which cannot be put into words and that which cannot remain silent. When you're happy, you enjoy the music. When you're sad, you understand the lyrics. Music is the strongest form of magic, and those who don't believe in magic will never find it. You are magic, you need to believe in yourself. We are the music makers and the dreamers of the dream. Visualization is a powerful tool in magical workings. If you can see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hands. Everyone sees a different truth, because everyone is creating what they see. Life is filled with illusion pretending to be the truth. You do not exist to serve the illusion exists to serve you. If you can see through the illusion, then you are the solution. You must first realize the prison of your mind. Most people don't really want the truth, they just want constant reassurance that what they believe is the truth. Everything we hear is an opinion, not a fact. Everything we see is a perspective, not the truth. Who you are is only limited by who you think you are. There is no knowledge more important than knowledge of self. If you do not find within yourself that which you seek, neither will you find it outside. If you ignore the wonders of your own house, how do you expect to find other wonders? In you is hidden the treasure of treasures. Know thyself and you will know the universe and the gods. If you could erase all the mistakes of your past, you would also erase all of the wisdom of your present. Remember the lesson, not the disappointment. Don't chase love, money or success, become the best version of yourself and those things will chase you. Change yourself and you have done your part in changing the world. The earth is not flat or round, it is whatever your mind projects it to be. Because the universe doesn't exist out there. The universe exists within the space of our minds and we project it into the physical. We are the gods of the atoms that make up ourselves, but we are also the atoms of the gods that make up the universe. God is in the mind in the soul in the matter, all things by eternity. Life is a school where you learn how to remember what your soul already knows. Before the birth of my human body, before the stars and galaxies were formed, before space and time began, before the Big Bang of the universe, I am.
Knowing yourself is the beginning of all wisdom. The self cannot be found in books. You have to find it out for yourself, in yourself. These days people don't search for the truth. People study simply in order to find knowledge necessary to make a living, raise families and look after themselves, that's all. To them, being smart is more important than being wise. I believe we are a species with amnesia. I think we have forgotten our roots and our origins. I think we are quite lost in many ways, and we live in a society that invests huge amounts of money and vast quantities of energy in ensuring that we all stay lost. A society that invests in creating unconsciousness, which invests in keeping people asleep so that we are just passive consumers of products and not really asking any of the questions. In oneself lies the whole world, and if you know how to look and learn, the door is there and the key is in your hand. Nobody on earth can give you either the key or the door to open, except yourself. Through meditation, the higher self is seen. Meditation is a deliberate attempt to pierce into the higher states of consciousness and finally go beyond it. The art of meditation is the art of shifting the focus of attention to ever mysterious levels, without losing one's grip on the levels left behind. In a way, it is like having death under control. One begins with the lowest levels: social circumstances, customs and habits, physical surroundings, the posture and the breathing of the body, the senses, their sensations and perceptions, the mind, its thoughts and feelings, until the entire mechanism of personality is grasped and firmly held. Meditation brings wisdom. Lack of wisdom leaves ignorance. If you rarely used your left arm and had to lift a heavy weight, it'd be hard work, right? The same is true for the third eye, pineal gland. You need to exercise this organ through meditation. It will become stronger as a result. Truth is not to be found outside. No teacher, no scripture can give it to you. It is inside you, and if you wish to attain it, seek your own company. Be with yourself. You are searching the world for treasure, but the real treasure is yourself. Something within you is starting to detect that there's a deeper meaning to life. Make no mistake about it. Enlightenment is a destructive process. It has nothing to do with becoming better or being happier. Enlightenment is the crumbling away of untruth. It's the complete eradication of everything we imagine to be true. When you begin to awaken, layers will be shed. You may experience rage, depression, anxiety, fear and so on. Allow these things to exit your system. Because your illusion self, ego, is being shed so your true self, spirit, can thrive. Embrace the transition. When you're evolving to your higher self, the road seems lonely. But you're simply shedding energies that no longer match the frequency of your destiny. Christ, Buddha, Krishna, and Muhammad are messengers, not saviors. The receiver of the message is the savior, and the intent of the message is self-realization of divinity within. And in all, when one awakens, they find that they are part of the one great reality and realizes their union with all things. Every awakened man or woman knows that the object of life is to realize God. Knowing the self, God is known. In fact, God is none other than the self. Self-realization is nothing but seeing God. Our greatest mistake is that we think of God as acting symbolically, instead of practically. You must get rid of the idea that you are yet to realize the self. You are the self here and now. The eye through which I see God is the same eye through which God sees me. My eye and God's eye are one eye. One seeing, one knowing, one love. The whole universal consciousness created the individual conscious of each of us, experiencing itself from different perspectives, in which each of us create the life we experience. When you look inside another's eyes and all you see is yourself. Everyone we meet in this earth walk, we've known them before and will see them again. In this dimensional reality of consciousness or another, the one is the same and contained in all, the all and everything. Remember that your perception of the world is a reflection of your state of consciousness. You are not separate from it, and there is no objective world out there. Every moment, your consciousness creates the world that you inhabit. Everyone is a manifestation of the divine, regardless of their state of consciousness, or form they've chosen to manifest their light. You are your higher self. The possibility of stepping into a higher plane is quite real for everyone. It requires no force or effort or sacrifice. It involves little more than changing our ideas about what is normal. What you are basically, deep down, far in, is simply the fabric and structure of existence itself. Quantum physics has been giving indications that there are levels of reality other than the material level. The real fact is that we are in the midst of a spiritual world which dominates the material. There are many levels of life which we cannot see and know, yet which certainly exist. There is a larger world, vast enough to include immortality. Our spiritual natures belong to this larger world. Once we recognize that all matter is actually energy, we can begin to form a new vision of ourselves and the world around us. We begin to realize that our surroundings are not what they seem. There is only one dreamer, the one self, dreaming many dreams. In every body there is a dream, but the dreamer is the same, the one self, which reflects itself in each body as I am. This place is a dream. Only a sleeper considers it real. Then death comes like dawn, and you wake up laughing at what you thought was your grief. Though we seem to be sleeping, there is an inner wakefulness that directs the dream, and will eventually startle us back to the truth of who we are. I have realized that the past and future are real illusions, that they exist in the present, which is what there is and all there is. The timeless in you is aware of life's timelessness, and knows that yesterday is but today's memory and tomorrow is today's dream. We are beginning to see the entire universe as a holographically interlinked network of energy and information. The universe doesn't make mistakes. Everything is happening just as it should. It's only our perception of difficulties that causes us the distress and the difficulty we experience. When we label events as bad, we fail to perceive the benefit that is waiting for us. Just a simple choice, right now, between fear and love. The eyes of fear want you to put bigger locks on your doors, buy guns, close yourself off. The eyes of love instead see all of us as one. One way to raise your vibration is to fill your heart and mind with loving kindness, with tranquility, and with peace. When you can create and manifest such an energy field, your burdens will be eased, even in the toughest of times. The eyes are useless when the mind is blind. When complaining is all that is done, results will remain the same. Change will not come until it is recognized that thoughts control the frequency gain. Some changes look negative on the surface, but you will soon realize that space is being created in your life for something new to emerge. Be an artist of consciousness. Your picture of reality is your most important creation. Make it powerfully, profoundly beautiful. Change yourself and you have done your part in changing the world. Knowing who we are is the most important truth we can attain in this reality, and the awakened third eye is a result of that divine inner truth. Forgiveness is not solely for the forgiven but for the sake of the forgiver as well, by moving one, the all, into a higher frequency of consciousness, love. Forgiveness is eminently a divine virtue. The moment the forgiving nature enters into your life, depend on it, God has been revealed in you. If we are peaceful, if we are happy, we can smile and blossom like a flower, and everyone in our family, our entire society, will benefit from our peace. The greatest gift in the world is the ability to help others see past the illusion and recognize the divinity within. The greatest good you can do for another is not just to share your riches but to reveal to them their own.